So this is a bit of an unusual video. I just came up with the idea now of doing this. I hope it's useful to some people. I think it would have been to me had I watched it. So I have been doing a lot of the same material for many, many years. And over the last few years, I'm just not happy with it. It's fine, it works, people like it, but it just feels like it's always needed work. And back from being a street performer, I've always worked on it on stage, which is fine. And recently, more and more, I was saying this for years, I need to script it, not every single word, because I improvise a lot, but I need to look at everything I perform and want to perform and really analyse it. And it's purgatory. The reason I put it off is because, again, ADHD, to sit here and do this and not be moving around and practising skills is horrible. And I do get into the writing side of it, but not for long, and then I get quite anxious. So I've kind of bit of a build up to this over the last few days of really kind of thinking about it, obsessing over it, and still not doing it. I said to myself this morning, I'd get out of bed, come straight down here at 7 o'clock after taking a dog for a wee, and not do anything before sitting here and, getting the transcription of my performances up there and starting to write. And even then, even though I was sitting here, I did everything to avoid it. I started trying to learn something for a review. I started checking my emails. I started looking at Facebook. I started really convincing myself that those were the things that I should do. I also started doing things out there, like, oh, maybe I'll make another cup of tea. And luckily, I've been analysing my time using a thing called Timely. I think it's Timely. I can't remember. I'll do a separate thing on that because people have asked me. And realising how much time I'm doing or spending doing those things that I convince myself of, oh, maybe I need another cup of tea, maybe I should have some more water, maybe maybe the dog should go out again, or maybe, oh no, I need to do a review now, and just years and years of that really, and actually going, no, you need to do this and you need to do it for an uncomfortable amount of time, because I'm going to get to the end of my life and still not have done it. Which sounds morbid, I know, hopefully it won't happen yet. So I thought I'd make a video when I'm in the middle of it, because so many of us find it uncomfortable. So part of it is to say you're not alone. And the other thing is I convince myself that it won't be useful. And I've been sitting here now for nearly 5 hours. And I'm going to have a break in a minute. And it's been profoundly enlightening. So the first thing I've done is I'm trying to order the routines as well, because they're all over the place. But I've transcribed my routines using a piece of software. If you just Google transcription software to transcribe video, there's loads of different things and you can get a trial. And when you read what I say, and I know some of it you've got to be there really, and it's going to read badly anyway, but there is so much nonsense, so much horse shit that I talk, especially in newer routines, because you can tell I'm kind of insecure about starting to perform them. So I'm talking in the audience and it just goes on and on. And yeah, they're enjoying it, and some people are laughing and stuff, but it's just... I'm not saying it's really bad, because that's like saying I go on and people pay me to perform and I do bad performances. I'm not, but it can be so much better. And also the tricks themselves, I'm watching a phase of a trick going, that's just not needed. I need to cut that phase. I love it, but it kills the rhythm. And sometimes it's not easy to do that. So I have shown my friends, so me and my friend Stuart, and this is really the first time I've done this, Stuart Davis, who edits my podcast, he's a lovely magician and human being. It was agony. We watched one of my shows, and even though I wasn't there thinking this is awful, it's good. It's some bits are lovely and great, but it could be just so much more concise. And I'm quite good at sticking to time, but sometimes I run out of routines and go, oh, I can't really fit the cube routine in now because, I've had a laugh about this with the audience for 5 minutes. And I've got to remember, I don't want to be a stand-up comedian. I mean, I'd love to be, but I'm a magician. So I need to stop doing the I want to be funny, please like me as much as I am, and do, get those routines in that I want to fit into the show. It's a really, really interesting exercise, and also it's painful, it's difficult. On video it's hard because videos, as Alex McAleer, sorry, was Alex McAleer in the podcast we recently recorded was saying, it's a fixed camera, sometimes it's your phone, so it kind of looks and sounds weird anyway, so it's a hard thing to analyse, but I think sometimes that helps because it makes you just look at the material. So record your shows, record your close-up, record your tricks performing to family. Be brutal whilst not beating yourself up, and know that you're always going to look at it like hearing your own voice, and sometimes you need those people to trust, actually, like Stuart did the other day when I was cringing in the corner here wanting to die. Stuart and I said, don't be kind to him, I want you to be honest, and he was being honest, but he said, no, it's really good, you could maybe just do this and this. So you need those people as well to make sure you don't watch a video and never ever perform again, like I've nearly done. But just, and if you procrastinate about this stuff, do what I've done. I'm still in my pajamas, I haven't done my hair, I'm losing my mind, but I'm gonna walk away from this being happy. So there I am. The try and find a transcription thing, analyse other people's shows, not to copy. That's been insanely useful. Just for time. So I've watched a lot of Darren Brown's shows, I've watched Justin Willman's show, in and of itself, not to look at the material, but to look at the dynamic and look at how long do they actually talk? Because I'm talking for 10 minutes and they're talking for 3 minutes and they're saying a lot more than me. So that's been really, really useful too. And not tedious watching the shows, but going through them and timing them has been tedious. And I think a lot of it's just accepting that if we want to achieve what we want to achieve, we've got to do the uncomfortable, tedious, sometimes painful, sometimes anxiety creating. And if that's the case, it's like getting up, having breaks, going back to it, but not stopping the flow and doing whatever we need to do to kind of, get the dirty work done before we can enjoy ourselves on stage or performing tricks to anyone. So I just thought I'd share that with you. I hope it's useful. Ask me any questions. I will get back to you. I will, if you want to know what the transcription software is, I'll tell you, but I'm not quite decided on what one I'm going to stick to at the moment, but it's interesting. So please follow me on Instagram at Steve Faulkner as well, and at Real Magic Review. I suppose I'll start doing that as well. And podcast, I just mentioned Alex McAleer's podcast that we've just recorded. That's coming out soon. Thanks again to Stuart for editing. Steve Faulkner's Magic Show. Search for that. I might change it to Steve Faulkner's Show or the Steve Faulkner Show. So if that doesn't work, search for one of them by the time you're watching this. Cheers.
Thank you.